Okay, well, we can get started if you guys want to. Is everybody ready?
Yep.
Cool. So then I just say we've established a quorum.
Yeah, and then I'll write down who's here.
Okay. That's great. Thanks everybody for coming. It's good to see you all.
Good to see you.
You had a good start to the summer.
How many is a quorum?
I think 4 right now.
That's correct.
That's great. All right, well, first up is Chalk Up Helena. Did everybody get a chance to take a look at Amanda's shared document and get familiar with it at all? No? I wonder if I can share it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Let's see.
Good. Let me, so I'll stop sharing this
Okay.
and then.
Hold on, it'll just take me a second. Okay. Sorry, just 1 second. I apologize. Boy, how do I do this? There.
Do you have a, are you able to share or not?
Yeah, I think so. Just give me 1 second.
Okay, no, you're fine.
Okay, now I can do it. Okay, so this is the shared document that Amanda made. Thank you for making that. It makes everything really straightforward. I don't know if we will actually have time to pull this off in 2 weeks. If we want to do a July launch for Chalk Up Helena for so yeah, Amanda wrote down kind of a who, what, where, when, and why type of thing to have. We were brainstorming maybe up to 10 locations for chalk buckets around town. And then she wrote this nice little paragraph just describing it. And but so the idea is that we would do a July long chalk competition with a digital or like a vote on Facebook or something at the end, or a Google vote to see who wins first, second, third, and then give out a cash prize. Does that sound familiar to everyone as the concept? Okay. And so, yeah, Amanda had talked to people at downtown Helena and in Reader's Alley. What was their group's name?
Oh, the Visit Helena group.
Yes. And they both seemed enthusiastic about it. So I do think that if we got it going really quickly, we would have support if we wanted to do it. But I don't know if 2 weeks is enough to coordinate with all these locations and get a media blitz going. What do you guys think in terms of that timeline? Do we have that energy in us to pull off a project like this in 2 weeks? There are other alternative ideas, but.
Excuse me, Ramsey, did you say in the alley?
Well, this is one of the ideas. So in green are just suggestions, but nothing has been decided on any of this. So
Chalk up the brick would not be.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure if there was anything actually like concrete back there, so maybe not. But so these were just ideas of where we could have chalk buckets. And that part is easy enough. Do we need to have permission from the city for any city locations that we use for that? Do you know, Troy?
I would just say we probably, if you guys had some in mind, I think we just let folks know.
Okay.
Yeah, or the thought would be that we could reach out to the Parks Department if we were kind of using park locations, just to kind of get their thumbs up.
Yeah. So if we might be able to do it if we just stuck to park and city locations, just because that coordination is not super difficult to do.
Mhm.
What are people's thoughts on the timeline for that? The other idea that Amanda had was to donate all our chalk to a Revive at 5 and maybe use that as a volunteer recruitment tool. And, you know, like I'd be happy to sit at Revive at 5 for a couple of times this summer to just talk about our group and what we are doing and see if we can recruit some volunteers to join the committee. So that was one idea floating around about how to spin this to make it doable in 2 weeks, how to make it work for us.
Yeah.
And I think identifying what the needs of our committee are, because it is difficult to achieve projects right now with such a low number of members. But I don't know. Those are some of the challenges that I just wanted to throw out and ask and see what you guys thought and what your energy level is in terms of volunteering in between meetings and how you think our potential is here to succeed at these things with our name on it.
What do you think is necessary to be able to launch something by July 1? Obviously, we have to identify the sites and deploy.
Yeah,
chalk.
so it would be organizing, like Amanda's already done some digital work, which is great. So it would just be making sure that we all have familiar language that we can all talk about readily in conversation. You know, having just a good mission statement for the project, which we also have outlined here. Like Amanda's already got most of this stuff really dialed in. It just is more about everybody getting really knowledgeable about it and then making a couple phone calls, buying chalk. And then like we need to contact the newspaper, get into the free calendars, get on Facebook and, you know, get our stuff shared. I think that's probably the most time consuming piece of it is getting the word out, and 2 weeks is a little tough to do that part. I think we have all the materials within reach. I think like I don't think there's anything really missing. Amanda has set us up great, but I think it is more than I think making sure the word gets out and that we have a cohesive enough statement that we can all go out and distribute press materials to various locations in various formats.
I see a big challenge too, now that I'm kind of thinking about it, just not having access to the Facebook page. We can't make a Facebook event. We can't do, anything. So that's definitely a hurdle that I kind of see, but I think there's ways around that for sure.
I mean, if I could, Ramsey, I mean, you guys have access to it. Just know that whatever you want to put on it, just you can send it to me and then I send it to Jake and it gets put on there.
Okay.
Right now, just because Bridget's
process.
Say that again.
Yeah, it's just a lot of steps to be able to and I think you're right that it is doable. It's just, it creates a lot more kind of hurdles to get through to kind of, get these things done.
Agreed.
Yeah, when it could just be easy pocket dial onto your phone. Instead, it needs to be sit down at an email and send it and wait, but, and then in terms of people asking us questions, I mean, we have access to those, I suppose. But I think something like this is going to be primarily a social media plug to get the word out fast enough, far enough. And I see like the buzz building as the barrier here.
Mm-hmm.
And the other part is like, well, do we want to have our an event that feels a little like an afterthought, or do we want to use it to repair the holes in our committee and build it up and then do something really intentional and really cohesive later? So this, I feel like this could be an opportunity, because Troy, have we had any interest? Have we received any applications? I know that I've been talking to lots of people about it, and I've emailed like the application to people. I don't know if anybody followed through sending it in. Do you have any information on any interest?
I talked to the city clerk's office 2 days ago, and we were talking just boards in general, and it sounded like there had not been any.
Okay. 'Cause I also noticed there were a call to board members in the paper just like a week ago, and we weren't on that list either. Is there something that I need to do to get us on that list, or is that?
No, that might have been an oversight, because I thought that I thought you guys were going to be on that list, so I'll follow up.
I didn't see us. I looked through, and maybe I missed it because, I've got 3 kids and they're all hanging on me at all times. So I might have missed it too, but I thought I didn't see it. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, we could do, there are ways I think we could go and recruit in a different way that is a little bit more hands-on, and try to use the summer to do that and then start it in the fall with big intentional projects, or I think we can pull this off too. I'm up for anything, but I just wanted to put that out there and see what you guys think and what you have the energy for, what you want to do.
We don't have to do July. We could potentially do August for something. And that would give us a little bit more time. I had some questions for Troy about access to their comms office for outreach to the newspaper and doing some more promotion that way and what resources exist. Ramsey, I love your idea of doing some promotion at the Revive at 5 event, and having some chalk there available for kiddos, and that could be a way to potentially promote an idea in August. If we felt like that was a little bit more doable timeline as
That's
well.
true. That's a good idea. Yeah, I didn't think about using that as like a promotional tool for Chalk Up, Helena. That's a good idea.
Yeah. And build some interest and excitement.
Mm-hmm.
Troy, I have a question. I only have you on the screen. I'd like to have everyone on the screen.
So, and Ramsey, are you trying to share something?
Oh yeah, I can stop sharing. Did everybody kind of look at this? It's in the link that Amanda sent out to everybody too. I also created a Google Drive document to sort of separate out projects that we're working on, so we can kind of share and look at information between meetings when the work happens, So do people kind of know where this is? So
I didn't see the share is all, so I don't know if you have
didn't?
on your right.
I'm sharing.
Mine shows as a black screen saying Ramsey Ballou has started screen sharing and it never got any.
Oh, strange. I'm sorry.
I didn't even realize because I had my thing up. Yeah, you guys can access that link through the chat that I shared, and everyone should be able to add to it.
Let me try.
Yeah, as I'm thinking about it, I like the idea of maybe pushing this to August just to kind of give us some time.
Mm-hmm.
And then using Revive at 5 as like, a kind of recruitment tool, as like a just general color and art and fun and goodwill, and just kind of teaming up with them.
Mm-hmm.
And if we do go up with the full kind of voting and things like that, maybe we just kind of identify just a few locations, like maybe 3 to 5 tops, now that I'm kind of looking at this, so that way those other agencies that come in, like Helena visit Helena, then we're able to really kind of direct people like here, like you get the chalk here.
Yeah. I'm wondering too, like you said, I wonder if we just create the opportunity for businesses to participate rather than us soliciting businesses. It seems like a substantial number of businesses, I would think, would want that kind of traffic and an opportunity to engage. And so if we kept our focus on the city and the parks and managing their involvement, and left it up to businesses to kind of manage involvement on their end, that might be a little more doable.
Okay.
Yeah, because then it could be up to that business to promote that they have chalk, to
Mhm.
kind of solicit those artists. And, you know, those park locations can be, you know,
Yeah,
things that
you
we
know, if
really
we could
focus on.
create
And then we
kind
could
of,
also give them a supply too, then they could refill their bins as well.
exactly.
Take a little pressure off us too.
You know, just create maybe a little checklist of, you know, what it takes for a business to participate, that they put up the logo in their business and promote it via their social media. And, you know, maybe they assign someone to help be a part of the voting, or maybe they nominate
They could be on the judge
on
list.
the, yeah, exactly.
They could
Yeah.
be one of the judges. That's a good idea.
Yeah, because I think that's the trick with all of this is, you know, how do we do this in a way that's not going to burn us all out
Yeah.
from wanting to do Chalk Up Helena ever again?
Yeah.
I agree. I think some strategy here is needed and some time to, build our collaboration
Yeah.
with outside entities as well. Okay. So does everybody feel comfortable finding that document? It never shared with you guys? Nobody ever saw it?
It finally did. Yeah.
Oh, great. Do you want me to share it again and you can look at it better? I can show you how to get to it.
Show me how to get to it.
Okay. So, let's see.
Yep, and it should be in the
Can
chat.
everybody see that?
Yep, I can see it now.
Okay. So,
I can see it. I can see it,
so
but
if you have a Gmail, sorry, I'm just gonna
Mm.
do this.
Do we
You
have
can
it
go
up?
up to here and it'll show you Drive. Right? And you can go, or it's linked in the email that Amanda sent out last week, but you can also go to Drive and then find Helena Public Art Committee. And and the document is right here. I also put our member list in there. So there are phone numbers and emails in there as well. So does everybody see that?
yes.
Okay. That's how you get there. And then you can just write in your ideas. You can come up, like go into suggestion mode, I think up here, or is it right here? Nope, somewhere. But you can add a comment or something right here. And you can put in a suggestion to add things if you want to, or, I mean, just email is also fine. You don't have to play with all of that if you don't want to, but. So.
Is it, Troy, is it possible for someone to create a map of participating locations?
Easy. I can definitely do that.
Yeah.
Once we kind of
Okay.
identify the businesses.
That's so we'll need a map and then a checklist of host duties. Like if you're
Yeah,
hosting
yeah.
a location for Chalk, then I can do that. And then how about a launch date? Do we want just August 1st to the end of August? Or
What day of the week is that?
hmm,
August 1st is a Sunday.
oh, okay.
Maybe that's not bad. I don't know.
So do I understand that you're planning multiple locations this year?
Yeah, so the idea is that we will leave chalk buckets just kind of around town in different locations. And people, like over the course of a month or so, whatever we decide, can go and make artwork, take a picture of it, upload it onto our Facebook page. And then at the end of the month, when the event closes, then whoever hosts that chalk bucket will be one of the judges. And then we'll put in a community vote or something where people vote for the winner, and then the winner gets a prize or something.
I like it.
Yeah, it makes it less manned, and like fewer volunteers have to be on location for a full day.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's achievable this year for what.
Oh, and I think we'll get more participation than people having to give up a Saturday
Yeah.
in summer.
No, I think
It's true.
there
It's
is,
a calmer artist environment, and coming off of a pandemic when we didn't have one last year, like it works with people's variety of comfort levels with being out still. So I think it's a good idea.
There is some concrete in Reader's Alley up on the platform there.
Oh, okay.
That would be a nice location for some murals.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Kathy, do you have questions?
Yes, I do. I do. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
A couple things. I noticed you said that maybe in different parks, and during the summer, there's case kids that happen in there's specific parks. And so wondering maybe if you wanted to coordinate it with those parks where they already have kids coming to them. So that was one question. And then the other was, Amanda, we were talking about the event up there on the Rodney Street area on the 10th of July, and whether or not that might be an opportunity for some kind of coordination. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for reminding me about that, Kathy. And it's so funny. I forgot to mention it to you last night, but there's some actual asphalt art murals that are being planned for that space that I had totally forgotten about to kind of accompany Big Sky Pride.
Nice.
And so there's going to be already a lot of fun and color, but it would be really amazing to have that if anyone's available to have HPAC set up a booth to try and recruit those volunteers and to even have that chalk there to allow other people to, scribble around. And yeah, that was an idea that Kathy had brought up yesterday that I thought was fantastic. But yeah, I think if any of us are available for any of those events, it'd be a great opportunity to try and recruit.
I can do that. I can do July 10th and I have a tent and stuff. So yeah, it might be nice to have 2 people or I can just do it. It doesn't matter. But if anybody wants to join me, I'm happy to do July 10th at Rodney.
Yeah, I'll have a lot of, I'll be available for a lot of the Revive at Fives. That day, I'll be super busy with trying to get like the front of the livery building done, and there's gonna be like a co-creation workshop. So, but yeah, I believe it's July 10th. Let me triple check that really quick.
Okay. So I will come up with kind of a kit for tabling, and then is there somewhere that are there materials for like a pamphlet about us that exists or not? Like something that people can take with them? Do we have anything like that about the HPAC?
There is, Ramsey. There's and they're all in my office.
Great.
So there's and I'd have to look. There's some chalk up Helena literature. I don't know. I think it's generic, so it's not dated or anything. There is brochures, HPAC brochure. So we probably should, and I know I meant to reach out to yourself and let you know when I'm available. You guys can swing by, but anytime, I can coordinate something if you want to set up a time to come by and we can look at all this stuff because I have no idea. There's just stuff.
Okay.
There's stuff in the basement. There's, if I remember right, there's some, like a sandwich board type thing that we can use. And so there's lots of stuff and we just probably need to get all that rounded up. So.
Okay, that's great. I can put together a tabling kit. And then I wonder if we want, like, I know the library does like little takeaway art kits. Have you guys seen, does anybody have little kids? But they have these little grab bags of art kits that they started doing when they shut down Story Hour, and they've been amazing. And just like really little simple things like threading a button on a pipe cleaner and calling it a day. It's pretty cute. But I wonder if there's something I could do that would be really simple, just like a little lunch bag of like takeaway art materials to go along with, I don't know, maybe that's silly, maybe it's too much. But
yeah, I think it's a sweet idea. It's just a matter of what amount of sweat equity you want to put in.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. You could go through a lot of materials doing that and that would eat into our budget. So maybe not.
Please go for it, Jen.
I was just going to ask about producing some kind of window decal or something like that for the Chalk Up Helena participants that they could put in their window.
Yeah.
Static clings or something like that. I love the design. I think it looks fantastic.
So good.
Producing
Thanks.
some of those on a square that participants could put up in a window, I think would be something that they would appreciate having the opportunity to do.
Totally. My other thought too was kind of those real estate signs on
Oh,
some of those metal stakes. I thought
Yeah,
in
yeah.
grassy areas or near the parks or something.
right. Yeah,
Really kind of
absolutely.
explaining to people, you know, it's just like, because one thing that I've seen, because that's the kind of the trick is explaining to people like this is like an art competition, you know, and it's like you could, you know, win money, you know, and
Yeah.
a little kid can also use it to write the ABCs
Yeah.
and that's fine too. But just making sure people understand like, oh, you can really try and make something with all of this.
Yeah, maybe then with a QR code that people could scan to get more information.
Oh, Troy,
Yes,
when you,
Kathy.
when you're gonna go through all that stuff, if you want me to come and tell you what's what, I can certainly do that,
Oh, okay, okay,
okay?
you bet.
And also, Amanda, what time is that on July 10th? Was it 4 till 8 or something like that? Is that right?
Yes, 4 to 8.
Okay.
And I think all of the other details are still being hashed out. If anything changes, you know, I'll shoot everyone an email. But yeah, I think all of the details are still being figured out for that. It's the Myrna Loy planning it, and I think there'll be some kind of Rodney Street projects, and there's gonna be all sorts of stuff going on.
That's awesome. So do we need to contact the Myrna Loy to get permission, or are you?
I can handle that.
You're good for that. Okay.
Yeah, I've got weekly check-ins with Chris Holmes, so I'll let her know. But I think they'll be so happy to have that addition.
That's awesome. Thank you, Amanda. That's really exciting. Okay, and so then do we want to maybe talk about Revive at 5 dates, and then maybe I can contact them and see if we can have space there. I don't know if they do that. I haven't been in a long time, but I can look at dates and see, do we want to each sign up for a week there? That be something people want to do?
So it looks like the Revive at 5 are July 7th through August 25th.
And they're
And those are on Wednesdays from 5 to 8 p.m. And maybe if we even just maybe we don't need to go all the way through August, or however we want to do it,
I
depending
think
on
if we just did July, I think it would be fine. And if we use it as a promotional tool for Chalk Up Helena, and then hopefully by August, we have a full tally of members. I mean, wouldn't that be nice?
I did find that advertisement and it was in there for
Oh,
public
good.
art.
That's
So,
great. And that was just my bad. My apologies. Thank you. That's good. So let's see, it's just Wednesdays.
Can we go back to the 10th of July if people are going to do that up there at Rodney Street? Because you're not going to have another meeting between now and that.
No.
So do you want to kind of lock down who would be there at a table? I think you offered a tent that you have, and
Yep, I'm happy to
willing to
table
come.
that event. It's right by my house. It's very easy for me to get there and be present for that. So I'm more than happy to table that one. And I can coordinate with Troy between now and then and get the tent kit together that we can pass off between us, whoever is going to be doing recruiting. Then I can set that up and table the first event. I'm happy to.
You might want to have application forms for public art committee members there. Not a lot, but a few. And I'd be willing to work with you at that.
Okay,
table.
that would be great. And then you can, maybe I can copy you on my email to Troy to coordinate a time to look through materials together, and you can kind of show me what's what there.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is there a theme this year for the chalk? Has anyone talked about a theme?
No, that's a really good
Not that
point.
far.
Talk about that. Anybody have ideas?
I don't know why, but dragons just came to mind.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
That way the little kids and the adults, they all could get into that, I think.
Yeah.
Did you say add dragons?
That's what I said. Yeah.
I like that idea.
Maybe generalize it to like mythical beasts or something.
Uh-huh.
Sure. Mythical beasts. Like, give me an example.
Yeah, unicorn, dragons.
Yeah.
That's really the only two that actually come to mind. That's all I've got.
I don't know. I did sit down to try to think about this last night, and I came up completely blank. I don't know. I like dragons.
Yeah, and if anything, everyone can add any ideas that come to them in that Google Drive of just, anything that comes to mind, and then at least we'll have a bank to pull from that we can kind of speak
That's
to and
true.
figure out what's kind of shaken to the top.
Yeah. So we have how many meetings before August? So we've got, one. Do we want, is it possible? And you can tell me to hush. But are people interested in doing bi-weekly meetings and having 2 a month?
Or we could do it depending on if for this chalk up Helena, if I think what had happened before and then it kind of fell apart was the subcommittee of who has that time to be able to kind of invest there, which I would be open to.
Okay.
Well,
I feel like we're already a subcommittee because we have.
well, and when,
maybe this is more efficient with just like 2 or 3, but I don't know.
when it comes to actually working the entire event, if you do it on a Saturday, we would do it from 9 to 3, and then the judging would happen 3 to 4, the awards at 4. And so we would have people that would work in 2 shifts. So we'd have a morning shift and then we'd have a second shift. And so it's pretty labor intensive. And so, you got to look at whether or not you've got enough people to be able to pull that off and do it well and not fry yourselves. And,
yeah, I think that's kind of where we came to is I think that we don't, which is why I think we are trying to do it as a month-long digital event that people can go and do their art on their own time and submit a photo instead of being a live event.
Mm-hmm. So you could try that. You'd have to have a way to go get your materials to every place and then collect them at the end when you're all done. And, if you can do that, but that's why I was thinking if you did it at the parks where they do K's Kids already. And, but chalk, you got to have a place where you can do the chalk. So you got to have sidewalk available or something, some concrete surface. Not all of the parks have that.
That's true.
Yeah, and maybe if we just focus on say like 3 parks and maybe the first 3 businesses that kind of, come to us, like probably Last of the Moon, I would imagine, since
I talked to Amy there and she was like hungry for people to come downtown. I think the walking mall is a sure thing. I think we should definitely do the walking mall. And I think all the businesses are they want people down there for any reason whatsoever. She's like, we don't really make any money by traffic for Chalk Up Helena, but it's just really nice to see people out.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was very supportive of that. Thanks for that phone number, Troy. I'll copy that down and put it on the document.
Yeah, and I was just gonna make a note to that. I know Kathy mentioned K's Kids. Right now, K's Kids is in a suspended, I guess, they've suspended it because the person that was gonna run it backed out. So they're looking for someone, but right now, not to say there's not kids in the park, there are, but they may not be associated with K's Kids. So I just wanted to make that known.
Yeah. So do you guys want to, should I share my screen again and you can look at locations and see? Do we want to talk about that? I mean, is 10? Oh, great. Thank you. So I think the Steamboat Block, which one is that?
That is Last of the Moon area,
Great.
I believe, isn't it? Or am I totally wrong on that?
No, it's,
No,
yeah, that's
No.
down.
Steamboat Block is at Mini Malfunction Junction.
Oh, geez, Louise.
Yeah.
So you're not talking, yeah, you're talking about the Boston Block.
I think you're right. I think that is
That's the
probably
line is
block.
in the Boston Block.
So the other spot, so in Hill Park where they put that platform for the Grand Street plays and stuff, that's a really nice spot, a sidewalk that's super level. I know Grand Street will be using that for plays here and there, so I don't know, we might want to talk to them about it, but that's a really great location.
Yeah, Ramsey, it's Troy. You might check with Parks, even Jennifer up in admin for Parks. They've got that booked, I guess it's booked like all summer.
Oh, okay.
So, not necessarily just Grand Street, but you may just say, hey, here's what we're thinking.
Yeah.
But it's gonna get a lot of foot traffic,
Sure.
obviously.
Well, maybe Women's Park too. They've got like that whole kind of cross T of decent sidewalk stuff. I know the farmers market will be there, so people will see it.
Yeah, and I think the trick with any of these parks is going to be what sort of central structure or bench or recognizable thing can we zip tie this bucket of chalk to? Because as I found with Rodney Street, I put out the bowls of chalk and they were gone.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it's like what sort of kind of thing that it's like, just as an example, like, oh, the anchor at Anchor Park, like you could somehow, attach it to that in some way. But yeah, just some sort of thing. So the people, if you go to that park, where can you find it kind of thing?
Yeah.
And where can you have that access?
At Anchor Park, they have the stage there that never gets used. That would be a good spot for.
Ooh, yeah. And then just attaching it to that pole.
Yeah, nobody uses it for music that I've seen since I was a kid.
Ramsey, I didn't hear what park you're talking about.
In Anchor Park, right by the library, there's this stage. And they have a lot of, do they? Maybe it's just a platform. I don't know if they have a light post there that you could zip tie to.
Or it's a flagpole or something like that.
Something like that. Oh, that might ruffle some feathers. A flagpole being used as like an anchor for.
Yeah, at Anchor Park.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I can find out after we do it.
I don't know.
If we had some budget for some signage, like you were talking about, Amanda, I wonder if there's a way to attach some kind of container to something that could get
I think
stuck.
we
in the
do.
ground.
That's true. We do. I mean, like Chalk Up Helena, I think historically has had, I think about $500 allocated to it. Right? Is that, I don't know that I have the actual budget in front of me.
So we have, Chalk Up Helena itself is $500.
So we have some money for printing and things like that. Would anybody want to maybe price out what printing would cost for, so we need stickers for the buckets and we need window decals for any businesses that are hosting, and then, or something explaining the rules, which can be like posted on the bucket or on a sign.
Right. I can get the prices for things if someone can help me with the language.
Okay. I'm happy to edit anything, and I can, does anybody else want to do any write-ups? Okay, I'm happy to do some language for that. Okay. And then, so yeah, I think on the stickers, we could just do your logo, Amanda, and probably on the window decal too, or.
And the window decals, I suppose it depends on how many businesses we want to participate, and maybe those Coroplast signs, which are fairly inexpensive, could just, they could tape it to their, their building or something like that, or if they have a green space out front.
That's true. We can double dip there. That's
Mhm.
true. Okay.
I don't know, I don't see a need necessarily to limit the number of businesses.
Mm.
If
Yeah,
this
I
is-
suppose if as long as it's laid out exactly what they need to do, there's no reason to.
Yeah, I think, maybe if we're going to limit the number of city areas that we're then responsible for.
That's a good point.
I don't think we want to be in the position of having to turn businesses away.
True
Yeah.
that.
So that's true too. We should also like have some, yeah, and then a map.
Mhm.
But then I wonder if for participating businesses, if we want to include like a sponsorship caveat, like to have their logo on the actual signs that go up.
I like that idea, but I think that would stop us from just getting the stuff printed.
Okay,
Yeah.
It would be this kind of feedback loop.
agreed. Okay.
Yeah, maybe we can just
Plug
kind of.
them on social media and try to get that recognition that way, maybe better. That's a good point. Okay,
I think we
so
should,
we want, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think we should give businesses a deadline to let us know that they're interested in participating, and maybe like,
Oh, and downtown Helena offered to do that push for us through their
Mhm.
network of businesses. So that could save us from having to then contact people unless there's anyone in particular we have in mind.
I
But
love
as
that.
long as we give them, exactly like, hey, here's what we need you to say. Here's how we need you to direct them to us. Mike or Ernie can handle the rest.
Okay,
I'm concerned with too many locations. Yes, up until now, it's always been one location.
yeah.
And you're speaking of, I've heard some good ideas, but I'm thinking 2 city locations is the library, and the civic center, opposite ends of town. We're talking about trying to have them in front of businesses, I guess.
But the businesses would be in charge of their own chalk refills and their own maintenance of the actual site. So I think that's a good point though, Lou, that we should maybe just pick maybe 3 locations that we have to maintain. Does that sound achievable?
I think so.
I think that's a great idea to put some boundaries on it and say Civic Center one end, library on the other,
Yeah.
and then maybe one intermediary location that would be good.
Women's Park maybe, or should we do Women's Park or the Civic Center?
Either one, it's fine.
Civic.
You guys have
And I
a
suppose
preference?
we can go kind of scope out the space and see where the best spot would be. Civic Center, Women's Park, all kind of loop them together.
Okay.
I mean, even if we just stick with 2 parks, honestly, on either side of downtown.
Yeah.
Unless there's another park that I'm not thinking of that's between
Well,
those.
the walking mall. We
The
should-
walking mall, right? And then
Yeah.
the walking mall can be handled by those businesses. So
That's true.
maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll kind of do that to just keep our lives as simple as possible.
Yeah, we can just try to keep the businesses kind of on that strip of Last Chance Gulch, maybe.
Right. I think Last Chance Gulch businesses.
I bet, I could, yeah, and we can leave that to downtown Helena to kind of, would they be willing, do you think, to narrow it that way or just go out to everybody that they coordinate with?
Yeah, and I think those businesses could use their own discretion. They know what kind of real estate they have, and if it's worth their while. Even just seeing, the window art and just how hard it was to find artists and participation and coordination. I think it'll just be a few key players is all we really need along that way. Even if it's of course if anyone else wants to join too. But I think this is achievable.
This is really exciting, you guys. Good job.
We're doing it.
I'm excited. Is anybody else excited?
And I like your modification of my dragon idea to mythical. Let's see,
Beasts.
Great. Is everybody in favor of that concept? Is that something we should have a formal vote on?
Or if we can figure out a way to like say that in a way that it's like
Yeah.
what is an ethical beast.
Yeah. I mean, I love not doing something that has anything to do with the pandemic. I like the idea of doing something totally not related at all.
If you have a specific date that you're wanting to do something in parks, then you want to make sure that the Parks Department knows that and they don't turn their sprinklers off.
Oh, that's true. Well, that'll be kind of up to the artist to photograph it before that happens.
Ooh, yeah, true that. I didn't even think about the sprinklers. Oh goodness. But yeah, I think if Ramsey, would you or I like to call parks and pick their brain?
I can call him. It doesn't, whatever you think, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, that would be great.
I will happy. And then
Mythical creatures, maybe that's a better way to say it.
Amanda, what do you think of that? Mythical creatures.
That sounds great to me. I'm in favor. Okay.
Toys R Us, is that the name of the toy shop?
Lasso of the Moon.
Yeah, so they,
The one downtown, is that what you're asking?
they have already expressed an interest in having something in front of their store for commercial reasons. But nevertheless, they've helped out over the years storing the chalk for us. And I'm just wondering if they should be the third location.
Yeah. Good. They may be willing to manage the bucket themselves too. I know they hold our whole inventory, and Amy is a neighbor of mine, and yeah, she seemed like she would probably be receptive to having a sign in her window and having a bucket that she can refill, but I can ask. Okay, so this is a lot. Sorry, my brain is just going to take a minute to filter this information. So on my list, I have create a tabling kit and collaborate with Kathy and Troy. And develop language for the signs for artists, which Amanda's already drafted, but then also for businesses. I'll table on July 10th at the Rodney's.
It doesn't have a name yet. Yeah, I think it's. I think the word was Inside Out or something like that, like the Myrtleois Inside Out.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's still coming together. I think.
I'm just gonna say Myrna Party, and then
Yeah,
and then I'll call the Parks Department. And so for when I call the Parks Department, I just need to get permission to zip tie buckets and place a sign for month of August. And we decided on what do you guys think? Does anybody have an opinion, or should I just walk down and use my best judgment in terms of Civic Center or Women's Park? Or do we want
totally. Yeah, I trust your judgment there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody else in agreement with that, or does anybody come and want to help me decide? It doesn't, I'm happy to have company.
You decide. Ramsey decides.
Okay. And then, so after I take that little walk, then I'll call the Parks Department. And so is that what we've decided? So 2 bookends, and then we ask downtown Helena to solicit participants of businesses between those 2 events?
Mhm.
Okay.
Let's not forget to include the Great Northern Center. It's sort of at that one bookend, but
That's true.
Yeah.
Maybe that's our 3rd location then.
Mm-hmm. It's not really a place where people hang out necessarily, or like children hang out, but maybe I'm wrong. That's
They
kind
do on when, like, through the summer, they sometimes do a little out to lunch event.
out to lunch.
I know they try to get people to hang out there. I know that's always a little bit of a challenge, but with the Science Museum open and
And
I think
yeah,
the
the
carousel's back
carousel.
open again too.
Yeah, it is. And you're going to attract tourists, families that are staying at the hotel down there. So
Yeah, I think it's a good, I think, and it's got
I
some
don't-
nice cement.
yeah, I don't know that we necessarily need to make that one of our focuses, but I just want to make sure we're encouraging those businesses to participate.
Totally. And maybe even Exploration Works wants to, be one of the ones managing a chalk bucket.
Yeah.
As soon as
Okay,
you
so I
have
should
your
approach the
date,
Parks Department about that one though, or should I ask them?
For which one, Ramsey?
For the Great Northern Town Center.
City Parks, I don't think has anything down there necessarily.
All right, so
But I
we'll
think-
include that in
yeah.
the downtown Helena.
Exactly. Yeah.
Edge. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry, I have a learning curve here in terms of city infrastructure. Thank you for your help. Okay, so I'll just ask about Anchor Park and Civic Center / Women's Park once I look and see what I think is best.
so when you're talking about Civic Center Park, are you talking about K McKenna Park? The little park?
I'm
that's
just
right-
thinking the cement out in front
Oh,
Yes,
was
that's
what I had in mind. Does anybody else have a conflicting idea?
Yeah, at the entry, I think
Yeah.
that leads up to the front door. I think it's a beautiful spot.
It's got good cement out there.
Lots of cement. Whereas the women's park, what kind of cement do you know of over there, other than the sidewalk?
It's just the sidewalk, but it's nice and wide, and they have some benches there, and then that nice fountain that they always plant really pretty flowers in,
Mhm.
or near. Yeah,
Your
Parks,
benefit.
don't appeal to me very much. I think they need a plaza type place where
there's something
kids-
else. Oh, so yeah, Civic Center would be your vote then for Civic Center.
so when you have a firm idea of your dates and firm enough that you can put some kind of verbiage around what it is that you're doing, then you want to make sure it gets to helenaevents.com.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's the other thing. Yeah, we'll need once we get all that, that's a really good point, Kathy. Like, was that Kathy talking? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was me.
Thanks.
You want to get it to helenaevents.com and also your time. Your time deadline, I think, is Wednesday now at 5.
Okay.
Troy, is that something that staff helps with? Or we should,
I mean, that's a good question. And
I
some
can
of
help.
this is, what we've done in the past and what we're looking to do in the future as far as committees and boards are concerned. We're trying to, and they're working through some of that right now, because we actually have a PIO. I guess I'd have to ask the question to see, do we have to go through that avenue to get something to the your time? Do we have to, if there's and I don't know, maybe Kathy knows if there's a cost associated with it.
No, no cost.
No, okay,
Just got to hit the deadline.
gotcha. So let me ask the question and then I can get back to you tomorrow on that.
that'd be great.
It would be,
We
You
need
know-
to think about, oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh, I was just going to say, you could use, if you're going to get something in the your time, you could use that opportunity to talk a little bit about how almost like the Public Art Committee is reimagining its focus or its direction, however you want to put that, and how there's a need for people that want to be involved. And here's some things that you're doing now. And I mean, you can really make a big piece out of it rather than it's just one little activity that's happening.
That's a really good point.
That's a great idea, Kathy. The only other thing that comes to mind right now is we don't have to decide this right now, maybe at July's meeting, but what that, incentive will be for winners.
In the voting process, what that looks like.
Yeah,
Right.
and I know that was one thing that they had trouble with the window art event, that the voting was a little bit snaggy. And I know that Amanda, when you talked to, was it the BID?
It was Mike Rooney, who's the operations director at downtown Helena. But he said the issue was they went through Google Survey, which is super easy on the back end. But then if you don't have a Google account, you can't vote. And so that makes it not as inclusive. They chose that also too because it was free. And also I think it limited how many times a single person can vote, from stopping one person from just going click, 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 click. We could definitely do some research as to what else is out there as far as kind of free options or really, affordable options. I wouldn't want to spend too much on it. Also too, as far as like an incentive, I think $250 first prize sounds pretty great. And then just depending on how much money we have to allocate this, knowing from my background as like the graphic designer for the Montana Lottery, as I've seen, smaller prizes with smaller amounts of money actually generate way more of a return for people rather than just 1, 2, 3. If you did maybe $50 like honorable mentions and you do more of those, or like a first place and then a bunch of honorable mentions, or something like that, then it makes more people feel like really good about it.
Yeah, and then I wonder, when we do that plug with downtown Helena, I wonder if we can create some kind of ask in that format to say, would you be willing to donate a gift certificate alongside this?
Ooh, yeah. Especially for the
them
business.
do the secondary prizes, maybe.
Yeah, or some of those downtown bucks.
Yeah.
In the past, you've gotten gift cards from DHI or Downtown Helena. Amy at Last of the Moon has often given gift cards to her business, and Sandy Scholl at Birds and Beasley's has done it. So, I mean, those are options too. They all get hit up all the time for donations. So you might want to look at what the options are.
Okay.
Sweet. All right. I put that down in the needs, and I can ask Mike Rooney as well. Once we kind of come to him with that list of like, boom, here's what we need you to put out. What can you also give us for helping us?
Thank you, Amanda. That's great. Okay. Okay. So I'm clear on my tasks. Amanda, are you clear on what you're looking at for your task list?
Yeah, I think so. I might just put it in this doc right now.
Okay. Let's see. How do people feel about doing an in-betweener meeting? Is that a firm no, and I want to respect everybody's time and energy as well. But
I'm certainly willing to do another meeting, an additional meeting in July.
okay.
Yeah, and maybe that meeting, if it's maybe just focused on the pieces for Chalk Fest Helena or Chalk Up Helena, would that need to be a quorum meeting, or could we just do that as like a subcommittee?
That's a good point.
I suppose that'd be a question for Trey.
Yeah, I'm pondering the question. When the subcommittee is the committee, I would wonder, but it's one of those things where I think you guys are unique in some ways in that, the decisions you're making are almost operational to the event. If that's what you wanted to discuss as a subcommittee. Right now you're making the decision to move forward with these dates, and everybody's raising their hand in favor. That's the, I think you could call it a subcommittee meeting, and I think you'd still have to take some notes, almost like subcommittee minutes. Would it have to be advertised? I'd have to get back to you on that. Some of them just require, if you do a subcommittee, there just has to be minutes of that meeting is all. And there's no decisions made that are life-changing. You know what I mean? I mean, how many boxes of chalk are we gonna buy? How many signs did we decide to order? It's not that at all. This meeting would be, let's say you were trying to decide on how much money of the budget to spend on certain items. That would need to be a full-on meeting, I think, so that you guys agree to spending those funds, as you all agree to. So my quick knee-jerk answer, honestly, is, pardon me,
406-952-3091.
that you could simply have a get together. It doesn't have to be on Zoom. It doesn't have to be advertised. It can be in person. It can be on site somewhere, and you guys are just talking about it.
Right, and then maybe we can bring all of those, ideas to, that July meeting to get those votes and get those approvals at that time. But at least then we have, those ideas or ideas to choose from in place.
Are there going to be judges? How are the prizes going to be decided? And then the other question I had is there going to be categories for the entries, or everybody's just judged? Because you may get some professionals in there too. You'll probably get some adults.
Yeah.
I think the thought was to do like an online community vote where, anyone with an internet access could vote. We'd have to figure out what avenue to use with that. In the past, how has the different categories for Chalk Up Helena worked, or have there been different categories?
There were, it was by age. So I think it was up to 10 years old was one category. And then 11 to 15, I think, was the next, 16 to 18, and then 19 and over was adult. And then there was a professional category too. And there would be 3 judges, usually somebody from the business community, but usually also a city commissioner as part of that judging process. So, well-known people in the community would be chosen. Sometimes an artist would be chosen. They tried to have an artist as part of the judging team.
I was the artist, the last one that was out, along with the other people that were judges.
I think I was gonna say, I think the mayor mentioned he would be willing to do that, didn't he? So.
I'm happy to help recruit judges. I was gonna do that previously, if we wanted to do that. I would caution us against using any kind of categories simply because we have no way to enforce those categories in the submissions. We have no way to verify or validate them. It would just be on your honor.
The idea of online voting, posting the pictures. I mean, the kids are so in tune to that, more so than we are. So someone would take the picture of each one that was drawn, post it, and then leave a certain amount of time for people to vote.
Yeah, we would close the event on whatever date we decided, the end of August, I suppose, and then have the community vote once the submissions have closed formally.
The challenge of doing something over a length of time, like you talked about the month of August, is if it rains, you lose it. You know, over time, people can come and add to it, maybe not in a good way. So, you know, it may be difficult to keep that judging open.
Well,
Well, we wouldn't physically go there and look. They would just submit a photo and we would look at the photo. So the artist, once
Okay.
they finished it, would just take a quick picture and upload it to our Facebook page.
Okay, that makes it simple.
Yeah. So, and then after that, yeah, anything can happen to it.
Make sure that the artist says where it is.
That's true. We should have like little identifying statues that they have to put or something, like in the frame. Or like have the bucket in the frame, maybe, if we could do that to verify.
What is the July 10th date for? I missed that.
yeah, so that is for a block party being thrown by the Myrna Loy as part of the Rodney Street revitalization project. And so there's planning to be, one of the gals is planning some asphalt art that I think is going through city approvals right now, or about to be. So, there's going to be like a co-creation workshop in the morning by a few of the artists as they kind of work with themes of belonging in the neighborhood and like what does belonging mean to them, and perhaps also having kids design park benches with Play-Doh and pipe cleaners. There's a few ideas floating around right now. And then I'm hoping to have all the front of the livery stable designed with art in the next few weeks. I'm currently restoring all of the wood and sanding and scraping every morning at 7 a.m. So I'm now a historic preservationist.
Oh, well done. Well, should we quick decide on a subcommittee optional date? If anybody wants to show up, they can. For, let's say, July 1st.
Ooh, I will be gone on July 1st, unfortunately. Otherwise, every other Thursday at 3:30 works pretty well for me.
Yeah, I can do, let's see. Yeah, Thursdays are great. So, I mean, would the 8th work for people as a subcommittee date for anybody who wants to show up to make sort of some of these logistical decisions, and then we can kind of get the ball rolling? Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
So, and I have a Zoom account, but Troy, do you want to officiate that meeting, or is that something that we just do on our own?
Yeah, no, you guys just do those on your own. And again, just like I said, take some notes and send those on, and then we'll put those in the record.
Okay.
I am gone all that week, starting on Sunday.
Okay.
But that's okay. I get
Well,
back on
I'm open.
Friday.
This date work, like Thursday afternoons generally work for me, so I'm flexible. I'll let you guys decide what day.
Yeah, the 24th, the 8th, and the 15th, all of those work for me. I suppose the 15th will probably be our meeting, our actual meeting.
Yeah.
Would it be an in-person meeting or a Zoom?
Whatever you guys want. Does
The
Zoom work best for people?
Yeah.
Okay, Zoom.
Yeah, I think especially now that we're kind of for functions of like having a Google Doc where we can all kind of add to it at the same time, it is nice for those collaborative moments.
It is. This is really nice to see, like, you making updates as we're talking. I like that a lot. Okay, sounds good.
So
All right,
Let's do July.
honestly, Ramsey, this is Troy. I just say, I mean, if you guys are doing a meeting on a Thursday at 3:30, I mean, we could certainly still host that and
Okay.
just call it an additional meeting if you want.
Okay, that sounds
mean,
great. Do we
Now,
have?
if we know we don't have a quorum, then, I mean, you guys can still have a discussion.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, let's do that then. Let's stick to July 8th at 3:30, just because that's a nice, I mean, 3-week breaker that allows us to get some of this stuff done. And then that'll be actually right before our tabling event too, so that might be a nice time to check in anyway, or for the July 10th thing.
That's a great point.
Okay,
We'll just call it HPAC special meeting. This is how we'll advertise it.
that sounds great. Thank you. Okay, so should we probably move on to municipal court art then?
And just a heads up, I apologize. I need to leave in about 10 minutes.
Okay, I'm sorry, this is going long. I apologize. We'll try to move through everything else.
Okay, yeah, I think the rest of the things will move pretty quick.
Okay, so how do people feel about the proposal from Judge Anderson or Peterson about the municipal court?
Yeah, I thought it was really sweet idea, and it's it's great to see kind of someone in a position like her is kind of looking out for those opportunities. But I really don't think it's a good space for artists necessarily. They can't really make any money in those situations, and then their art is kind of tied up in these spaces. I do agree that they should definitely need something on those walls. And I'm not sure if the best way, or if it would be the best use of HPAC's time to help facilitate that, especially kind of with our current amount of members and this Chalk Up Helena. And one thought that came to mind, and maybe we can offer her a few ideas and opportunities. One would be maybe reaching out to the Holter, and I think Ramsey, you had mentioned they had a private collection. Right.
Yeah, I don't know how they use it. I know they have private collection shows here and there, but I've never talked to their, what her position would
be.
Right.
Yeah, that was one thought, was having them reach out to the Holter, since they're basically neighbors, to see if there's any sort of collaboration there between those entities, or honestly, just printing, Montana tourism photos that are, available to anyone. As long as they're not being used to promote anything. That's what I've done at our state agency's office. And those things are available to anyone to print. And, then they can maybe use some of their maintenance budget to, print those things, and to try and make that space feel a little bit less procedural, or I'm not sure of the right word there, medical. But at least to give them that color and that sense of identity, and to try and make that place feel a little bit more welcoming.
The other thought that I had is maybe refer them to the library. That library's foyer space is booked out months in advance, and I suspect there's times when the library has to turn people away. I know they in fact had to turn Chalk Up Helena away a couple of years ago. So if there's a way for the library to refer exhibitors to that space, if that might make sense.
Yeah, and I can just because as we talked about, how would they fund it if we weren't going to truly promote, or if we're going to, it's all sidestep, Jeannie, if we were going to purchase art or make stuff, that would come out of the facilities budget. So that's certainly something that I can work with the judge on and help her get, something figured out. And we'll also look at, reach out to the library and just see if we can get something that direction. But that's something where, you guys wouldn't need to be involved in that. We can certainly move forward with the judge and get that space with something on the walls, one way or another. So we can do that.
Do others feel similarly? That of whether we want to take on that administration of that project, or if we want to just make recommendations like Troy said and Amanda said, and send them on their way?
Yeah, I think recommendations are probably the way to go.
I'm fine with that.
I would agree as well.
I'm trying to quickly find for when I printed all of those things for the lottery, kind of the specs on that, just to give them an idea of like, you can get this many pieces for, this much out of your budget. And I'll see if I can kind of track down that information.
Yeah, that's a clever solution. That's a good.
I thought one idea that came out of that discussion last month was kids art.
Yeah, talking to the art clubs, I think, or just local art teachers too.
Which the Holter has a very good handle on. They have classes for kids all the time, ongoing.
Yeah.
And right now they just post them in their building, but those would be great to post in the judge's space.
That's a really good point.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the Halter is a really great resource for them. Great. Are we in agreement then? Do we need to have a formal vote on that? Troy?
You can, it's on the agenda, so you can certainly vote on, yeah, make a motion and vote.
Okay. Am I allowed to make a motion or not?
Typically not, but
Okay.
Let's see, I move to refer the municipal court to other related art services rather than manage a program through the Public Art Committee.
I second that.
Second.
Thank you, guys. Okay, so now we are on to
No
the
vote?
FY. I'm sorry?
Gonna vote or not?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I don't know what I'm doing is the other thing.
We've had a motion and a second. We need a
So
vote.
now we vote.
We're figuring
We
this
vote.
out.
How do we vote?
All in favor, say aye.
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 All right. Thank you. I have some more reading to do apparently. Okay, the ayes have it.
Very good. Good job.
All right, are we ready to move on then?
I think so.
Okay, so the FY22 public art projects. So I know we've had a proposal from Amanda to collaborate with the livery building and something with the Rodney Street improvement project. Is anybody else aware of the other projects that we had? We had sort of a meeting about this maybe 3 or 4 months ago. But I'm not sure. We had a different chair at that point and kind of a different membership too. So it's different now. There was the ghost sign update or the ghost sign thing, which I think the money for that is maybe not available anymore. And then we do signal boxes is what we did. The committee did in former years. That's what I'm aware of. Is anybody else aware of other things?
We've had some talks about murals in the past. I think those were sort of the primary, and I think at our last meeting, we talked about maybe not doing some signal boxes this year, maybe focusing on something else.
Yeah. So do we want to do 0 signal boxes or just decrease the number?
Say 0.
0? Okay.
I think we could always reserve that idea for later in the fiscal year too, if it looks like we might have some funds available to do 1 or 2.
Through that.
Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
if I might, I remember some discussion on the 5-point intersection, Montana Avenue, Lindale, 5-point intersection project that the city's gonna do there. That there may be some opportunity for some type of artwork of some sort. So I can reach out to transportation and just see what the possibilities might be, and then give you an update at our next meeting or maybe the one after that.
Sounds good.
Okay. Okay, and then, so I think in what I understood from the city about the money for the ghost art thing was that they were asking if we were still interested in doing that because the money might not be there anymore. Which sounded to me like, do we want us to dig for that, or do we want them to dig for that or not to pursue that project? Was what I was reading into that question. Am I correct in that, or is anybody else familiar with what that question was. It was in the last meeting. They had asked. It's in here.
So if we didn't spend the money on that project, would it remain in the HPAC budget or would it go to some other purpose?
I don't know.
The Go Start money.
Yeah,
So my understanding was, from the information that I found, the historic, or I'm sorry, I guess they call them the historical downtown ghost signs. Money was promised for this project, but after the death of Commissioner Ed Noonan and the resignation of City Manager Cortez, the funds seemed to have disappeared, was kind of the question. The funds themselves were actually in the city manager's contingency fund,
I see.
and they never came out of that. So I think it's almost it'd be a question to ask, revisit that. We have a new manager. Could we in fact, ask for some funds to do that? And that would be something that I think you guys would want to vote to probably create a request. And I don't have that in front of me, but I wonder if it's a request to the manager since it's her funds. But let me look into that. Okay. And then
So
maybe
that
we can just.
project was kind of a collaboration with On Broadway.
It never got off the ground, and I would recommend that we maybe not prioritize it at this point.
Okay.
We never really got a lot of feedback from On Broadway about their interest. We'd also talked about the restoring the Firestone sign. It just never got off the ground enough that I feel like it's worth us prioritizing over other potential projects. At this point, I think, let's look at our budget that we have and try to prioritize how we want to spend that for this year.
Okay.
I will say, if that money is somehow still available and not coming out of our budget, there is some other Go Start that I would probably already have the approvals on to restore. It's just a matter if that's where we want the committee's energy to go.
That's true. We had briefly talked about that because there is Go Start on the Livery Building as well.
Yeah, on all sides, and it's owned by Lewis and Clark County, and yeah, the hope with putting art on there is to begin that conversation of preservation. But they've been really open and receptive. I've spoken with Andy Hunthausen as well, and he is on board. So so that is in place. It's just a matter if those funds are available, two, if that's something we want to put energy into, because it seemed like Go Start, it kind of just hit this wall of not being able to communicate with these business owners or companies who showed any interest.
Yeah. I wonder if the county would be willing to put up some matching funds.
If they were, that would make it way more of an exciting opportunity, because that stuff is just so expensive, and it just doesn't seem like using HPAC's budget to restore ghost signs is a good use of funds, when hopefully that money would come from preservation grants or donors, or from somehow some sort of preservation city funds.
I personally was disappointed in the one Go Start sign that was done. It looks brand new.
Eddie's red one, yeah, it wasn't.
I like the Go Start signs the way they are.
That's what I've done a lot of research and that, or like at least in that kind of dichotomy, there's something to Go Start remaining Go Start and what makes it something that is interesting. But honestly, I'm sure Eddie's bread 100 years from now, it'll be the same thing, I personally like it, but I think it's I think it's definitely, it's something that can be very, polarizing, and people have different opinions on. Oh, Jenny had to hop off, but yeah, no, I think, all opinions are valid, and it's been really interesting to hear all the different sides of it, and, all the different viewpoints.
Well, and there's another train of thought too on them. One is you repaint them. Another is you don't do anything. Or the other is you do some kind of protective coating over it. So
Exactly.
it'll stay the way it is and it won't continue to fade.
Exactly. And I think that's where, even with any sort of preservation, that would be the first step. Just keeping what's there from eroding further. So yeah, Kathy, thank you for bringing that up. And then painting over it is a whole nother level to that, that I think would, need discussion on either way. But yeah, definitely something that all opinions are valid on. And I don't know if there's really kind of a right or wrong way.
Do we want to maybe revisit that at the next meeting or at the next monthly meeting, after Troy's had a chance to look into what would be necessary to access or to see if those funds would be available?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know what else. I mean, what were the other things that you had in mind in terms of what the committee can do, Amanda, to contribute to the Rodney Street improvement? What did you envision in terms of like that collaboration?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of room. There's a lot of kind of options, and I think involving HPAC in some of these is a great way to be able to collaborate with funds that are already existing, to be able to do even more and to get our name on it. And these are all things that I don't really have I'm doing the front of the livery building, and that is being funded by the Myrna Loy, and then everything else is just my own personal kind of wanting to facilitate seeing art in our neighborhood. As I mentioned, there's the west and north sides of the livery building, so that's 20 boarded up windows.
Okay.
that are ready to have art put in them. It's just a matter of having determined if that art has a cohesive theme, how those artists are selected, what the materials look like. So there's still some things to hash out there, and maybe at the next meeting with quorum, it could be a great discussion to think about some of those options, because I have no idea what I'm doing. And then there as well, I think there's some amazing locations for murals as well, if we wanted to do something kind of on that larger scale to accompany this reconstruction. I think that would be a really awesome opportunity. Having preliminary approval from Jesters for that big north facing wall. I think it would just need to chat with Pam Matardo at Historic Preservation and see if there's any issues they have. And there's a few different mural locations that I think already have the business owner approvals in place that would present some really cool opportunities if that's the way HPAC wants to go.
I think those ideas sound really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of murals, they're always just so satisfying, and then we were also talking about dumpsters.
Oh yeah, and so that is those funds are in place. I believe that there will be 4 dumpsters being moved forward with dumpster art. That's also an option to either hop on those as a collaborator, or to also kind of wait and see how it works this year, to see if the art lasts, to see what the reception is. And that could be an opportunity in the future. So say if we do like a few signal boxes a year, we could do a few dumpsters a year, and so that way it's you're getting a better quality than quantity.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not expelling a whole budget towards one thing for the whole year.
Okay.
And so I'll definitely keep you guys updated to that. But like I said, I'm just trying to get through designing the front of this building, and then from there figuring out how to facilitate all of these other kind of community things. But yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah. Okay. So that's 4 kind of ideas and options that we can talk about next official meeting are, if we wanted to throw some funds towards dumpster and graffiti art on those, adding some murals or a mural to our list, or doing livery building, and then malfunction junction,
Mhm.
public art.
Cool.
Am I missing anything?
No, I think that's it. And maybe Troy, I've got a question for you in regards to like the dumpster art.
Yep.
For since March now, I've been trying to get a hold of whoever the acting director of Public Works is, and having zero luck with phone calls or emails. Granted, I also have like a 678 area code, so I'm sure that looks pretty sketchy.
I'm not even sure who that would be. So Ryan Leland is our Public Works Director for solid waste.
Mhm.
And I mean, I think that'd be the place to start.
Yeah, and I had been trying to send him emails since March and haven't had any luck. I know he just had a child this spring. Is he someone that you like ever see in?
Absolutely, yeah.
Did you tell him to email me back?
I see him a lot. So, I mean, I'm happy to reach out to him on the subject, so.
That would be great. And I could even this evening kind of send a follow-up email being like, hey, me again, just a reminder, because I'm sure he's had a million things on his plate and a million fish to fry and a newborn. So it's no sweat off my back, but just like any other kind of squeaky wheels would be so appreciated.
No worries. The other thing, I think it was Mickey down at BID that mentioned to me way back, and it was about, they have the trash cans downtown. Now, whose are they and all that stuff, and who empties the garbage? Well, BID empties the garbage, but whose cans are they? I don't know the answer to that. I could find that out. Are they cities or are they BIDs? But I did hear the Parks Director was talking about it. Like during Governor's Cup, they were talking about they need larger or more cans downtown, because I guess they had a lot of cleanup just because of overflow. And so those two Mickey mentioned, hey, what about art on the trash receptacles? We could do something like that. So that's just another one to put in the hopper, and we can kind of have this. And maybe what we do is put together that, project ideas, and then each year when we're budgeting, we kind of pick a few of them and move forward on that. Again, I'll get a hold of Ryan, talk about the dumpsters. I'll try to find that information from Mickey, so I can pass that along.
Yeah, and I actually spoke with Mickey as well back when because I was trying to secure their old trash cans for Rodby Street.
Oh, okay.
And I think they did the first round, and they already covered the first round in art. They basically just they just used the same 3 designs that they had already paid artists for. And right now it's just kind of it's the shop local, which is great. Ned Keenan, I believe, put that together. And they have 3 in rotation, and I think the hope is for this fall, when they introduce 8 more dumpsters, to have those with kind of some different art. And so whether we kind of help fund them with what those commissions are to get more artists to want to participate, and then we just kind of get our name on it without taking too much time and too much money. But yeah, I think you're right, that would be another opportunity.
Okay.
I just wanted to mention, when we were talking about murals, and you mentioned on gestures, because we talked about that yesterday. Anytime you're doing it on private property, which that's on the side of a private building, then you'll have to have some sort of an agreement with that property owner. If you're spending public money on it, you'll have to have some sort of a written agreement with that property owner. Some kind, how long will that have to stay there? How will it be maintained? It gets a little more challenging, I guess, when it's on private property. So just something to think about.
Absolutely. Thank you for that insight, though, because I was wondering about how that works with, privately owned property.
Yeah, you'd definitely be having some discussion with the city attorney.
All right. Okay, do we have any public comment? We've had really good input from from Kathy, so I think that's
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah. Thank you all for us getting to cover so much ground today. Feels productive.
it does feel productive. Yeah, I'm sorry I took us so long. I know it's late. So you guys, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate your help in training me how to do this. Very vulnerable, but we're doing it. So it's good. Okay, so are we done? We
Mhm.
adjourned?
I think so.
All right.
So-
Thank you guys.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Troy. Thank you,
Thanks.
Kathy.
Yeah.
Lou.
All
Good
right.
job, everybody.
You'll hear from me via email, Troy. Thanks.
All right, sounds good.
All righty. Bye, guys.
Bye.